So you're sitting here?
Yeah, I'll sit right over here.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. How's it going, bro?
Good, man.
Nice to see you, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, man, I'm excited to have you. I was supposed to have my boy on the show last week, but it didn't happen. But I'm excited because he's here now today. Beyond the Views podcast, episode 27. We got Sahab in the building, Sito in the building. This episode is brought to you by Production Studios. Big shout out to Roberto. Thank you very much for this beautiful, beautiful space we got here, man. I'm gonna start off by saying this. Persian Canadian International Party Starter, show opener, specialized in arts and entertainment. Bang that drum! Ah. Ferrari or Lamborghini?
Ferrari.
Ah, okay. You win 10 million next weekend with that lottery ticket. What's the first thing you're doing?
Buying a property somewhere tropical.
Nice.
Spain, Portugal.
Portugal! Yo, Portugal.
Aruba.
Nice.
Somewhere in Latin America.
Straight up.
Doesn't matter. Just the beach.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, with nice weather.
With your drum kit.
Yeah, bathing
drum
suit.
kit.
That's it.
Yeah. What's the drum kit called? What is that called for the people that don't know?
The one I always use is called a djembe. It's a West African drum.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Your second post on Instagram, your very second post, you have a drum kit. And somebody on the comments said, this is like some cow skin. 2013, this was your second fucking post. I was like, okay, so 2013, that's almost 10 years ago. Yet in 2014, you're already doing huge shows. So what I want to ask you, man, is like, is that when everything started, 2013, almost 10 years ago?
I started really, I used to take my drum out and you know, go to house parties and stuff with my friends and start playing and everything. And my first drum actually that I ever got, my dad found on the side of the street.
Wow.
It was a little darbuka, which is like an Arabic one. It was all busted up, dented up and everything. And he just like, listen, you like drums and stuff. You want to play with this? So sure. I just took it. I started playing with it. It's actually at my parents' house now.
Really?
And,
how old were you?
24.
Wow, you're young already getting started.
Yeah,
man. That's crazy.
So prior to that, I was my parents put me into piano, so I did that throughout like elementary school, and then I did the saxophone in high school. We started touring with the whole band all over Ontario and all the high schools and stuff, and then just eventually I just started hitting the drum. I was at a drum circle actually with my parents, and there was a bunch of guys playing the drums, and then the main guy just goes, "You come here, kid." So I started coming and I started playing. That was like, I think 14, 15 at that point.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just started drumming, and he goes to me, he goes, "This is what you're supposed to do."
Shut up.
Yeah, it was a white guy with dreads. It was a really cool looking dude, and he was really like, I don't know, I just felt his energy. And then when it was their turn to perform on stage, he saw me in the crowd, and he's like, "You now." My mom was like, "Go."
Are you serious?
So I went up on stage, I started playing, I just loved the vibe, I loved the energy, I loved everything, and I was, you know what, this is what we're gonna start doing. So then eventually you would always borrow drums, or I would take classes with different drummers and stuff, and like I would always borrow theirs until eventually my dad got me that one, and I started practicing with that a lot more, and then just things started to go.
It started going from there.
Yeah, and I was at a house party one day with a bunch of people, and there was a club owner back then, and he points out to me and he's like, "Hey, you should come play at my club." Shout out to Mickey, Time Nightclub, that's where it was, long time ago.
Fire.
Yeah, and then he just literally said, "Come by this day, start playing," and I started doing it, and from there and there and there it started growing.
Everything started to grow.
And I wasn't even really that good yet, but I guess the energy was good, and I loved the vibe, and I just, as I was playing, as I was getting bookings, I started practicing, and then every day going home and practicing some more, and then your
parents must have been excited knowing that their kid just started loving an instrumental. You must. Were you playing it at home as well?
Yeah.
Were you annoying with it?
Nope.
But your parents must have loved it anyway.
I kept going, "Mom, Dad, I'm so sorry." Like, "Nope, play all you want, go for it." Like, they never bugged me, they never said you're annoying, they never said it's too loud. Even now, sometimes like when we're all together and we're practicing and stuff, sometimes I go to their house and I do it, and they're totally cool with it.
And you play it and stuff.
And they even turn the music down, or they turn the TV down.
Because they want to hear you.
Yeah, I'm like, don't worry, watch your TV.
I
should be playing softer. I'm annoying you guys. They're like, no, it's all good.
That's amazing. Do you have this in your generation of like your family tree, like with arts and entertainment?
My mom and dad.
Wow.
That's one thing I loved about them, was that when we first immigrated to Canada, the Persian community was really small. So we'd always throw events, and my parents were always the event planners for these events. You know, all the Persians across the city and everything, put them together. And my dad would actually always play the Persian drum, which is called a tombak.
Tombak?
Yeah, tombak. And
Amazing.
my mom would sing. She's got a beautiful voice, and we would sing together. I would always be on, watching them on stage. I'm like, this is, and they didn't do it professionally. They just did it for fun, you know. And people loved it. And now, even to this day, sometimes when I'm on stage and I'm playing, I remember that when I was a little kid watching them on stage doing their thing. Yeah.
Wow,
really cool.
That's fucking beautiful. It's huge to have your parents, you know, like in the same industry, because you know that there's so many kids out there, I'm sure, that want to do music or want to pick up an instrument, but their parents are more like, go to school or go get a job, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, dreams are shattered every day, you know, on these lines. So it's beautiful to hear that your parents supported you, you know what I mean? Because they were stars themselves.
Yeah, I was blessed by my parents. They never forced me. They always said, what do you love? Just go for it. They never made me do this, made me do that. You know, every parent always wants the best for their kid, but they also want them to be happy and not stressed out, you know? So they were really cool with it. Even to this day, they still sometimes come to my shows. You should see my mom, little short little girl, who will be in the middle rocking with all the people in the you know,
my God.
if I'm doing a concert with 5,000 people, I'll always notice her in the crowd.
Are you
She's screaming the loudest. Go Sahab.
Are you serious?
Oh,
That's sick, yo. That's sick. Look, you gotta let me know, because I need to come check you out. I've been checking out your portfolio, and it's long, and we'll get there really soon. But you have a huge portfolio, and just the vibes, just like that, you know, that Persian like sauce you put with the music. You feel it. It's different music. You feel it. You feel it. Did you know? The question is, did you know? Did you feel it as a young kid? Or was it because that gentleman said, hey, you're great?
I'll tell you the truth. I don't know how old I was, but I was really young, but I just saw myself on stage.
So you knew that?
I had to be on stage. I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing. I saw myself on stage. Sometimes I'd be in the clubs, you know, just doing my thing with my friends, and you know, sometimes they let you go up on like a higher level and you dance, and I love it. And every time the light would just hit me, I was like, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do. And I would scream and I would do whatever. And then even to this day, when I'm on stage, I remember those times where I'm like, I need to be on stage. Like 2 weeks ago, I was in Vancouver at the Orpheum Hall, 3,500 people, packed crowd. And it's, you know, it's that packed when you have one spotlight on you and you can only see the first 3-4 rows. And to that moment, I was like, this is what I pictured myself doing right here.
Fuck yeah, I love it. I love it. I love hearing that. Did you ever, though, along your journey, have fucking doubters and people that were sort of, you know, not really fucking with what you were doing, and it made you feel some certain way and such? Because that happens as well. I'm just curious with people, you know, especially entertainers, you know. Sometimes your circle might not have the same vision as you.
Yeah.
Did you lose some friends? Did things change around your life? Did you have to sort of adjust to what your vision is?
I didn't lose friends, but there was times, you know, where I would be in the clubs and I would be playing and I would hear like someone just cut my mic off. You just cut my mic off. You know, I don't know what it was. Maybe I sucked, or I wasn't playing the way you wanted, or maybe I was stealing the guy's shine. But it's not like I played for 3-4 hours. You know, I come in, I do my thing, a few minutes, and I leave, and then I come back. So I remember that, and my friends back then never said it when I first started. But later on, they were like, "You remember when you sucked?"
They always gotta bring that up. Huh?
So for everyone out there that's picking up an instrument or a hobby or anything, you're for sure gonna suck at first. Like it's just the way it is. And when you see other people doing it and they're so good, you'll be like, "Holy cow! How am I supposed to get there?" You need patience. Practice, and you just gotta love it. And then you just keep going and going, and then you'll get barriers. You'll get to a point where like, I'm stuck. I need to go further, but I can't. I'm stuck here. And then out of nowhere, you just break free to the next level,
right.
and then the next level, and you just keep on going. Still to this day, I'm still getting to a point where I'm like, okay, I got to learn something new. I got to do something different.
Really?
I got to do something different. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I go, I see some of my guys do their thing. I go on YouTube. You know what I mean? I like
study.
I do it with my mouth, like boom, ba, boom, 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 boom. I listen to beats. You know what I mean? And then at one point, I'm like, oh, at this point, like my mouth did this, but my hands aren't doing that. So I just keep practicing and practicing until you get it.
Wow.
And once you get it, you're like, okay, next,
wow.
next, yeah.
Wow. Was there any time you performed, or that you just felt a bit discouraged with, I guess, how your performance went?
Yeah.
That it made you sort of in that weird, I don't know, bubble or space?
Yeah. Yeah, that's happened.
Give us a time where that happened, and how did you overcome that, you know, those barriers that made you feel a little shaky?
Well, one time that happened to me, I don't remember what was told to me that it just made me feel pretty shitty.
Yeah.
And then when I was up on stage, my mind wasn't there. You know what I mean? And I don't even remember that set at all. But when I left it, I was like, man, I did a horrible job. And,
oh, shit.
And I even remember at the end, I had my microphone, you know, I have the battery pack in my pocket, and it's connected to a wire that's to the mic on my drum. And at the end, I put the drum down. I'm like, let me leave like a cool guy. So I even put my drum down. I'm like, you know, I did my thing, and I walked away, and I didn't take the battery pack out of my pocket, and the drum fell. And I'm just like, what a horrible day. Like, I never, ever, ever want to remember that day again. But it was Beach Club Festival, actually, 7,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, shout out to Mickey for booking me for that too. But yeah, no, so we did that again, and then that happened, but I remember like a couple days later we were somewhere, I was at Ferry Mall or something, like, oh, you were that drummer at Beach Club, you were amazing. Then I realized it was just my mind fucking with myself, you know?
Yes.
Or maybe they were just really nice, but at the end of the day, I saw the love, and I saw how they felt, and I'm like, okay, you know what? It was just me telling myself that I'm no good, which, you know, now I've reached a point in the professionalism that I do with my work where I could just cut emotions out. The light hits me, I'm tired, I'm sick, whatever it is, I'm like, you know what, I gotta do my thing, and then when I'm done, I go back to normal again.
Wow.
Like I said, when the light hits you,
wow,
nothing else
feels
matters.
good though.
Yeah.
It must feel so good.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. Like what, how does it feel right before you go on stage though? Are those like butterflies still there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I remember the first time I was gonna perform with another friend of mine downtown somewhere. I remember like my heart was beating so fast, and I was just learning this new rhythm that he taught me to do, and it was 7 dancers that were supposed to follow my beat.
Wow.
So I was like, I can't screw this up. So I looked at him, his name was Peter, and I'm like, Peter, do you see my chest moving? It was my heartbeat. He's like, dude, relax. And after my dad came to me, because he saw me, and he's like, never lose this feeling. You lose this feeling, you don't need to drum anymore. Make sure that's always there. You know? And still to this day, I do that. My mom always tells me the same thing. Just before you go, thank the Lord, thank whoever's out there, praise your hands, kiss your hands, thank you, thank them for what they're doing for you, and go out there and rock it.
Fucking kill it, and kill it. Check it out, what's going on everybody? Beyond the Views Podcast, episode 27, you know what time it is. Listen, Sahab, I want to know, if it wasn't for the drums though, would there be a backup? Did you have a plan B? Is there something else that you love? Within the entertainment, I know you'd be on stage, but anything else? Or your mind was literally just straight?
No, see, I used to beatbox. I never made it to that level I wanted to, but back in high school, my friends would freestyle or whatever, and I would beatbox, and I saw myself maybe doing that. I was in a dance group.
Okay, cool.
I started to break dance. I was never like the guys you see out there, right? Don't get me there. Yeah. But I started to beatbox, and I started doing contemporary dance with the whole group. It was a whole dance workshop. Yeah. At the beginning, I just came. I was like a 12-year-old kid, and then I would always go there and watch them do it. And at one point, the lady, she's like, join us. And then one day someone was sick, and they're like, you remember the whole routine. Join us on stage.
Cool.
So I always liked the stage.
That's so cool, man.
I always liked the stage.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
I never had a backup, but I knew somehow, somewhere I need to be on stage. And I'm pretty much doing exactly what I wanted.
That's amazing,
with something
bro.
I love to do too.
Honestly, man, like just hearing this, man, it fires me up because, you know, it's hard sometimes, and I get it. It's hard to sometimes pursue what you want to pursue, what you love, bro, because there's so much distractions around you that it doesn't allow you to just feel free to just do it.
Yeah.
So the point that you got, and by the way, like, you know, for everyone listening right now, it's not like Sahab got to this point overnight. You know, like he's gone through emotions. I can only imagine everything you've gone through just to get to where you are right now. How practical are you with, you know, your practicing throughout the week? Are we talking about 5 days a week, twice, 7 days? You know, even if you don't have a show, how often are you practicing at home?
I used to live in a condo prior to Corona.
Yeah.
So I would cover it up with some sort of sheet or something, because you can't hit that stuff in a condo, right? You're gonna get noise complaints. So I would do 4 or 5 shows a week already. So that was already practiced there. Plus I would go rehearse. 4 or 5 what? Yeah, 4 or 5 shows a week, which we're back to that level now again. Corona really made me relax and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would practice because I would go to classes. I had classes with 5 different master drummers. One from Brazil, one from Egypt, one from Iran, one from Africa, and one from Cuba. So I was literally, I'm just like, and I took little bits of all of these and I molded something for myself. So that's why I can try to say, like, you know, my work is a little bit more unique, and I have a lot of people I looked up to, a lot of people that I used to book back in the day at my events, and I'm like, we need the drum, we need the drum, we need the drum, and they would always let me come play with them too, with the shakers or whatever. Wow. And then I remember when Mickey called me and he told me come play at Time nightclub, I went to them, and I'm like, guys, they want me to play at a club. I don't know, can I? They're like, so they push play on a track, and they're like, play, while they were doing their thing. And then 20 minutes later to stop, they're like, the drum's in your heart. Keep doing that, you'll make it. Really? Yeah.
How long in though did this happen?
How long into what?
Like, how long were you actually in this industry? Like,
I was, this is before my first club gig.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, this was before my first
club. So you clearly have been getting a lot of like signs just from everybody letting you know that this is his shit.
Yeah.
And that you should continue.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that boosted you, you know, to get out there.
It gave me the confidence. It gave me like, you know what? Okay, so maybe this is something. And you know, sometimes you do something, you think you're really good, but then you're like, what do other people think? Although you should never think what other people think.
It's tough, it happens.
But when you have a good circle of people who trust you, they won't lie to you and they'll tell you the truth. And these guys wouldn't have just told me to do that to screw me over. So I did it, and if I look back now, sometimes I listen to some of the stuff I did back then, I'm like, oh, I would have done this different, oh, I would have done that different, oh my God, that was not good at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but then I realized that it's not just being a very, very good musician to do what I do. You need to be an entertainer. You need to be live, you need to have that energy, you gotta smile, you gotta get people pumped. If you're just in the corner doing your thing, not looking at anyone or whatever, it's not gonna be the same. You can be the best anything in the world. If you don't have that love, it won't be the same.
Yo, you nailed it. Well said, man. There's a huge difference, you know, when if you have those drums, playing it at home, playing it in your room, you know, and then you go in front of a fucking crowd and you're just like, fuck, like, shit, okay, action, you know? Okay? I'm gonna start naming. If I miss anything, bro, just say it. You got from Canada's bridal shows, you got from clubs, festivals, weddings, art stage, award shows, DJ sets, kids event, private, corporate, runways, tropical, like, dude, honestly, you made it. You've done it all, man. Everything I mentioned is literally everything in the book. There's nothing that you haven't done, is there? I don't know.
What have I not done yet?
What have you not done?
I don't even know.
It was beautiful. There was one even that you were playing it. There was a bunch of kids just having a good time, and I'm sure that to them was something so magical and so different. Just that video for me, I was like, that's so beautiful. You got dancers around you, and like I said, 2014, you were already performing on a stage. So clearly you're meant for this, but you know, when I say everything I said, you know, everything that I just said, what comes to your mind when you hear all this? Like, what's your feelings like?
Blessed and thankful.
Yeah.
And I hope I can do this for as long as I can.
Yeah.
You know?
In no particular order though. What do you feel like you enjoy the most? What stage?
Digital Dreams.
Yeah.
Music festival, 35,000 people. I don't even remember how long ago it was, but I remember when I finished my set, 5 minutes. That's all I did, 5 minutes. When I finished my set, I got off the stage and I lost feeling in my legs. I just dropped to the floor. And then the dancers that were with me, they're like, oh, are you all right? Are you all right? I'm like, I can't believe this. I was tearing up. And then I had to do the Saturday and the Sunday. And the Sunday I was not opening for Tiesto. There was another guy just before him, but the headliner was Tiesto.
Wow.
And the DJ, and I got lucky with that because the DJ that was coming after the other one had to change his whole turntables, so they had 5 minutes of having to switch up the system. That they're like, we can't have dead air. You go, and it was me and a couple other drummers and some samba Brazilian dancers, and we just did a thing. It was the coolest thing ever. And then the next day was even freakier than the first day because now I knew what I was up to. Imagine getting people to clap and hearing 30,000 people clapping at the same time. You feel it in your freaking chest, man.
You do, eh?
It's ridiculous.
Yo, you feel the energy.
Oh my God.
I don't know how that feels like, to be really honest with you. But having that many people in front of you, do you even look up, or are you just so focused?
No.
Can you even see the crowd?
Yeah, but
you can.
You can't really remember every face. But you gotta look into the crowd. You can't just be in your own zone because that's selfish.
Really?
You're leaving that energy to yourself. You gotta shoot it out there. You gotta smile. Like, that's just how I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like to look at the crowd.
Yeah.
There's been a few times where I just really felt crappy. You know, I was going through a breakup and I felt like shit.
Yeah.
And I remember the next day she calls me. She's like, "You weren't smiling that night. It just wasn't the same, the show." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was sweating. But but now I don't do it on purpose. That's just my vibe. That's what when I see people smile, when I see that energy coming back to me, I do better. If I'm at a gig or I'm at a show and everyone's just sitting there just watching me with just like a dead face, I won't be as good.
Yeah.
But if I'm somewhere and people are like, go, going nuts,
crazy.
Oh my God, that just boosts me up to do even better.
Yeah.
And I always tell the people, they're like, "You did such a great job." I'm like, "You know why? Because of you guys.
Amazing.
You guys pumped me up, so I continued. That's why."
Yo, beautiful. Well said. Love it. Have you ever had any bras thrown at you?
No. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you ever had any like?
I've seen, that's happened. I've had flowers. I've had beach.
Did you?
Yeah, beach club festival. They were throwing beach balls everywhere, and sometimes, eventually, I could catch them, and while I'm playing, I move out of the way. I've had glow sticks thrown at me.
Ding ding. All right. Are you independent, or do you have an entourage, a huge team?
I have an entourage. I have a team. I have dancers. I have other musicians. I have a violin player. I have a group. It's called Skin and Strings. It's me and a violin guy together, and we have this like drum versus violin electronic fusion that's like actually blowing up too. So probably in a few months you'll bring us both here for another podcast. Do we have a video out right now on YouTube or anywhere? Yeah.
Or even on Instagram? Can you let everybody know where to find this?
So our Instagram is Skin and Strings, at Skin and Strings.
Awesome. And when is this, like, when are you getting together to make, are you getting together with that crew to make a show, like with the violins?
Oh, we're already doing these shows.
What can we expect?
We're already doing these shows. We've been in, we just made it to Ottawa. We just made it to Montreal.
Wow.
Yeah, so we did a couple events there a couple months ago. We were in Montreal 6 times last month.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then Ottawa, we did that a few times too, so we're really expanding.
What about Toronto? Do you have anything coming on?
Oh, Toronto, we're doing a lot here already.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So once he lets me know, I'm gonna update everybody, because I feel like everyone that's watching this, we're all gonna go. Because I wanna go, and you're gonna come with me, and we're gonna go turn up with the boy.
Yeah.
I'm excited, bro. Honestly, I really want to
come to my shows when I know you're a busy guy, but
no, I do want to come. And by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, like Sahab and myself, we met at an event. See our energies connected from that day. It's been a little bit over a year since the last time I seen him, but it feels like I just seen him yesterday. It's all love. And you know, that day that I seen you, you were performing. I was like, wow, like he's made to be. And look, we're here now, and you're sitting beside me, and you've been doing amazing. So
it feels good. I know the guys that you brought on your show. And thanks. I feel thankful and blessed that you picked me too, man.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
I've been waiting for a long time to have you, bro. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Looking back to your journey, Sahab, is there anything that you would change? Is there anything that you would do differently now that you're more experienced?
You know, I've been asked that a few times,
yeah,
and I can't say I would change anything, because everything I've gone through, everything I've done, even all the pains in my hands, the cuts, the bruises, you know, everything got me here. So there's nothing I would change.
Amazing.
I'm not regretful.
You accept
of anything.
it.
I accept it. This was the journey. This was the path. This is the way to go. Everyone's gonna have it differently, but it's still gonna be kind of similar. You just gotta push forward and go for it.
Amazing. 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 And is there any advice or any mentor advice that you received throughout your journey that you've always kept with, and that stays with you forever?
Some of the ones that I told you my father told me were those, and the other one was, you know, just love. Care for the people around you. Don't be fake. Be humble, and practice, 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 and never give up. If you give up, it means you just don't love it enough.
Yeah,
you know? That's it.
Yeah. I totally agree. I totally agree. Can you let us know something that your fans don't know about you? A cool fun fact, exclusive for the Beyond the Views podcast.
I like to have my chips with yogurt.
Isn't there a saying? What's the saying? Get your, I want the whole chip. I want the whole enchilada. Guys, what is it? Put in the comments below. What is it? It's called something. But what the fuck? What kind of chip do you like to dip your yogurt in?
Barbecue, regular, ketchup. I don't know, it's good, and yogurt's healthy for you. So.
That's crazy, bro. That's fucking insane. What's your end vision? You got an end vision? Are you happy where you're currently at right now? Do you have, you know, something that you still want to conquer?
I'm like not even halfway where I want to be.
Wow.
I'm speaking to some really good producers, some really good singers, and all of this is through Corona. Like, you know, you get time to think. You know, when you're so busy doing all these gigs and rehearsals and stuff, you don't think about anything else. And then during Corona, during the lockdowns and everything, I'm like, okay, I got to keep this brain working. What do I do?
Yeah.
So we started talking to a bunch of different singers and a bunch of producers and stuff, and they sent me some of their music and thing, and I was just like really good. So now I'm just like going to their places, going to their studios, and we're working on music together, rap, reggaeton, house, hip hop, reggae. So like we do it all, and so that's what I'm starting to do to you know, create an album or release an LP with, like, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and also on top of that, I want to create a team. I want to start, you know, teaching kids, teaching whoever's interested in this to make really big shows. Imagine like me and like 25 drummers behind me doing something crazy. You know what I mean? You
got a lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna focus. Even to the day where I can't drum anymore. By then, I want to make sure I have a group of guys that are mini Habibis all around. Just hitting those notes, man. Hitting those notes. Look, I'm curious. This is a question that I want to know. Drums, I feel like it just has one surface, and you just hit it. But is there different sections of a drum that gives you different sounds? I'm sure there is. I'm just curious to know, because you don't see it. It's a flat surface. So when you are practicing, is that how it works? Like bring us a little bit through like your vision of how that looks. So you got the bass in the middle, you got the rim around. Depending on how you hit it, the position of your fingers, you make different noises.
Okay.
That way it's not just a monotone bop, 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 bop the whole time. It goes like boom, boom, bop, 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 bop. You know what I mean? So it has a bunch of different sounds that you can do, but don't even think about that when you're first starting a drum.
Just fucking hit the thing.
The most important thing I tell everybody is rhythm. If there's a beat, you got to keep that rhythm. If you don't have that rhythm, you probably shouldn't be into music. But if you've got that rhythm, 50% of it is out of the way. So get the rhythm, follow the rhythm, don't get off beat, and then eventually through time you'll get the technique. People always think hit hard, hit hard. No, I'm telling you, I've seen the bruises on my friends' hands after, like, you know, a party, and they're like, can I play with your drum? I'm like, yeah, take it. The next day, I remember my friends' hands were this big. I'm like, dude, you don't hit it like that. This is a hard drum. If you don't hit it right, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Wow.
So yeah, so there's all kinds of different ways to hit the drum, but that's something you focus on a little bit later.
Yeah.
Once you've got that rhythm, and you can keep that rhythm and maybe look around, not close your eyes, talk to someone, or maybe have another guy drumming at the same time, and you can maintain the rhythm. For 2 years, one of my main master drummers, his name was Nation, and I love you, man. We haven't seen each other in a while, but I love you. Like, you did a lot for me. And he used to, there was just a simple ba, 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 ba. That's all I did for 2 years, and he would take me to shows with him. And he's like, and he would go off. and I had to maintain that rhythm the whole time while he did his thing. And for 2 years, I almost remember every time I was with him, he's like, do that. That's all I did. It just started with something like that, 4 or 5 hits, bop, 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 boop, boop, bop, to it. So you start off with something, and then you expand on that. Boom. You got the bass here, and then you got the rim, and you got the tones, and you got the slap. So once you start practicing and you start getting it, you'd be able to do them all.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
That's hard, man. That's hard. That comes with practice. That comes with practice. I want to also bring up that I've seen you with celebrities. Can you share any stories of who you met? Is there anybody in particular that, you know?
Well, one of the greatest times is one time where I was performing for one of Drake's barbers. And they said there may be a possibility that Drake's gonna be there. So I'll never forget that day because I talked to one of my DJ friends, like one of my boys, Persia Don represent, and he helped me make a mix of like a housey Brazilian, but with Drake songs in it. So I just said, you know what, if he's gonna be there, I'm gonna go up on stage and I'm gonna do my thing. And wow. He was there.
No
and not only
way.
was he there, when I started to do my thing, he actually came onto the dance floor. It was pretty cool. I was on Global, I was on Perez Hilton, but the only shitty thing is that like only my friends knew because it was filmed from the back, so you can. Oh. But who cares? You see Drake, right? So you can see him drumming with me and stuff.
That's so sick.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool time. Another time I was at the W in LA, and I was doing my thing there, and after I just see Bob Saget.
No way!
And I love that guy.
That's
you know, from
sick.
Danny Tanner to who he is now, and I got a picture with him. Yeah, so I've done that, and it's been pretty cool. The premiere I did, John Tory, I was with him one time at an event, and he was there too, and he actually drummed with me a little bit for fun. Not on camera or anything, but he just really wanted to try it out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Listen, man, look, I'm inspired. We are inspired. Sahab, well, how do you want to end this podcast, man? What can we expect right now? And let us know where we can find you, man.
Well, I'm doing a lot of shows downtown Toronto. Right now, if you guys have heard of Myth on King West, that's really good. I played at Lobby. I've done Nouveau, it's Keelan Steele's area. I'm going to be in Vegas December 24th. Wow. And hopefully, fingers crossed, January 2nd, I'll be in Dubai. Then I'll be in Germany. Shout out to everyone in Germany. 2020 was the last flight I did, and we did a 8-city tour in Germany with this really famous Persian comedian. His name is Max Amini. Shout out to him. He's my boy. And all these other shows that I'm going to be doing is with him. So hopefully see you guys there. But feel free to DM me anytime or contact me and let me know. And if there's a spot that I can get you guys in, then you know I'll put you guys on the guest list or whatever, and we have a freaking fun time.
Yo, amazing, amazing. Beyond the Views podcast, episode 27. This episode is brought to you by Production Studios. Big shout out to Roberto. Nice.